How father wounds impact relationships. Hi guys, I am Jeremy, your amazing marriage and strong kids guy, and today we're going to talk about father wounds. If you've ever been abandoned by your dad, chances are you're emotionally unavailable. If you had an abusive dad, either through alcohol, physical abuse, emotional abuse, chances are you're going to struggle in your masculinity, both your own as well as other men. If your father was hard on you, chances are you're going to feel like you were never good enough. Nothing you ever did counted. You always had to do more. You're going to be driven. If you never felt like you had your dad's support, then chances are you're going to struggle receiving help. You might know that you need it. You might be wanting to ask for it, but something inside you blocks you. And if your dad repressed you, if your dad made you wrong, you're too loud, you're too this, you're too that, chances are you will struggle to speak your truth. The problem is when we're kids, we don't know how to defend ourselves against that stuff. We are literally just sponges. Our hearts are open, our minds are open, and we just receive everything we're given. And so if our parents have a wound, if our dads have a wound, if our dad is angry at himself, frustrated at life, angry that his career didn't turn out, whatever he's got going on, if he takes any of that stuff out on you as his child, chances are all you can do is accept it. All you can do is, I deserve this. It's my fault. I was too much. I wasn't enough. And you change yourself and you adapt yourself and you go into people pleasing and you try to be something you're not to earn the love that you're craving. And that creates ripples, right? You imagine a rock being thrown into the water and you hit, and now you've got ripples flowing out of you. And this is why sometimes it feels like life is coming at you in waves. And it feels like you're just drowning and you're being buried by things. I want to tell you, you're not alone. This is actually something that happens to a lot of us. And so when it comes to dealing with these wounds, here's how you know you've dealt with it and you're fully healed. You can talk about the situation in the past. You can talk about it in the positive. You can talk about your role, what you've learned, how you could show up differently, and you're focused on the future. As long as you're still complaining about that man back then and it's in the negative, you're still going to be stuck. You're still going to be holding on to the pain, still holding on to the tension. But let me ask you a question. No matter how hard I squeeze my fist, how much does it hurt you? And as long as you stay angry about that past stuff that truly was not your deal, you're stuck. And you're holding on to something that the other person, he's not around. You can't control that stuff. What you can do is you can learn to control your own story. You can learn to relax. You can learn to let go some of this tension and stop taking that stuff out on everyone else. The problem is the pendulum swings both directions. And if you've been wounded and you haven't dealt with it, chances are you're either overreacting or underreacting in your current relationships. And so now you're going to create more problems. Either you run the same patterns that were run on you and you show up the same way for your kids, or you back off out of fear and I don't want to be that guy. So now you don't do anything. So I have a client I'm working with and his daughter, 5 years old, and he's terrified to discipline her because he was raised with a drunk, abusive father and he doesn't want to be that guy. But when she doesn't listen, he feels that anger. That's what was normal for him growing up. So that's what he wants to do to her. And he hates that. So he doesn't do anything. And so now he's got a 5-year-old, defiant, disrespectful, opinionated, melts down. He's terrified of what to do, which is why he reached out to me. It's like, dude, we can handle this. This is not complicated. First thing we got to do, we got to get you out of the hole. Because as long as you're still in that wound, it's going to keep showing up and keep showing up. In the same deal, if you guys are in a romantic relationship, or to be honest, you find yourself in a series of romantic relationships and they keep failing, and you've got a father wound in there, it's going to keep happening because at some point you're going to get comfortable and you're going to let your guard down. You're just going to stop being this process, all these defense mechanisms, and you're going to let the real you come out. Needy, wanting validation, wanting approval. And that changes your polarity in an intimate relationship with a woman because she doesn't want a needy little boy that she has to placate and take care of and validate. She doesn't want to mother her boyfriend or her husband. That forces her into a completely different role. She's not going to have sexy fun times with you. That's why we did, by the way, the clip on sexless marriage. Probably go watch it. So as you're feeling comfortable, that shadow starts to come back out. That unresolved stuff starts to come back out. So we got to get those father wounds dealt with. And the cool part, We don't actually need that involved. All we need is you to start taking control of the story and the focus and the meaning. And so today I want to finish with something really important. I would love to invite you, if this resonated with you, if this made sense, if you heard yourself in some of this conversation, please reach out to me and let's have a 15-minute brainstorm session. I guarantee I'll find you 1 or 2 ways to help you to take some of that pressure down, take some of that tension down internally. And if we decide to work together, we can get that father wound resolved, cleaned up, and healed, usually in just 1 or 2 conversations. This is something I absolutely love to do. It's one of my favorite things to do with people, is get them out of that hole, and then we'll start to deal with those ripples and where it's impacting. So all you have to do is just hit the link down below in the description and you are good to go. So you make it a fantastic day, and I will see you when I see you. Hey guys, thanks for listening. And if this resonated for you, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit the like, turn on the bell for notifications, because you subscribed right now. Subscribe, smash that button. And you can check out a couple more videos, and we will see you when we see you. Bye.